What's up, guys? Welcome back to channel. Maverick here with episode 9 of Somali and the Forest Spirit. So last episode, we learned that the humans in this world are assholes. Not too surprising there. Honestly, we actually knew about that since episode 1, where they already sort of established that humans were in the wrong here. Now, of course, as always, I feel like there's probably different sides of the same coin, but for the purposes of our protagonist and whatnot, let's just go with that, right? With that being said, what's the next step from here, right? I think, if I recall correctly, they mentioned, the witches, they mentioned that if you were going to try to find humans, travel to the ends of the earth, right? And I made the speculation last episode, especially looking at the geographical features, that probably humans actually came from across the sea. Now, I would, by this point, venture a bet and say perhaps Golem and Somali are going to make their way to the ocean side, and perhaps once they get there, that'll be the end of this first season, because apparently the series is still ongoing, and so we have a lot to do still. But in any case, let's get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Ribbit. Nope. Already? Alright. Now, right next into the next journey, eh? And by the way, I do realize that this episode, I'm putting it out like about a day later. Uh, the thing is, the time that it drops is actually really inconvenient for my time zone, especially since I do have a normal working job, so I can't exactly stay up that late to wait for the episode. Especially if sometimes I have some early stuff scheduled for the next morning. But my schedule this season so far has been mostly weekend heavy as well. Which is a good thing, but excluding Thursday. Alright. So, are you gonna sing in the ring as well? Well, she is. She's singing in the ring. Hmm. Well, this is certainly a convenient world. You can just go around and use these lodgings. Tappers. Oh, tap the trees? Okay. Hey, I know about that. I actually learned about that from like a classic novel, children's novel. Little House on the Big Prairie, I think. Cooking advice.
蜜きのこのミルクジャム。牛の乳と蜜きのこの優しくとろける甘さで、ひとすくい舐めればたちまち疲れを吹き飛ばす。ウィッカワインのビーフシチュー。
Oh, that sounds good.
鼻孔をくすぐるワインの芳醇な香り。思わず吐息が漏れること間違いなし。角うさぎのゴロゴロにシャボトゲと豚肉の卵とじ。砂の負荷の東国風ピロ。
Yeah, not the best thing to read before dinner. Before going to bed.
味は保証しないぞ。
Like I said, such a convenient lodging.
保存食だ。食料も拝借することだ。宿代も含めてロギンを少し置いておこう。粗挽きの小麦と膨らまし粉にバター。
Alright. Cooking with Gollum.
卵、樹木で採取した野鳥の卵。砂糖は棚にあったバオムシュガーで代用する。それで何を作るんだ？粗挽き小麦のスフレ。
Sofu. Wow.
似たようなものかもしれないな。夜のケーキとはまた魅力的な。では始めるか。ソマリも手伝うぞ。まず卵から目玉を取り出し、そこにバオムシュガーを加え、よく混ぜ合わせる。小麦半量と膨らまし粉を入れて混ぜ、粉末ミルクを。
Well, they did say it was a minor day. I think what they were trying to establish there is that this is a fluff episode. Or filler.
卵を生で食べるのは危険だ。それにそちらも料理に使う。次の工程は
We a cooking show now, boys.
バオムシュガーを少量加え、雲のようになるまでひたすら泡立てるとある。とにかく混ぜてみるか。どうだ？次は先ほどの生地にこれを足して、泡を潰さないように混ぜ、バターを塗り、砂糖をまぶした型に入れる。あとは熱したオーブンで砂時計7つ分ほど焼けば完成だ。
Oh, so that's probably gonna be for breakfast, right?
なんだ？そうか。
Oh, I guess the hourglass is maybe 10 minutes. So this is about an hour. Hey.
構わないが、やけどしないよう注意しろ。
Ooh.
味はどうだ？どうした？卵の殻でも入っていたか？ 美味しすぎてちょっと涙出ちゃった。
So got. Oh.
大げさじゃないぞ。お父さんの初めての手作りご飯、すごく
First thing you ever cooked? Hmm. Oh, there's Ahsoka.
冷めるぞ。熱いうちに食せ。
Oh.
静かに。声を出すな。
I mean, it's only reasonable that other people would be using the lodge as well, right?
すまねえ。少しの間だけ雨宿りをさせて。あ、お前は
あれ、もしかしてゴーレムくんってことは。
No,
いやー、助かった。
I didn't even
あんな雨の中野宿したら
remember.
ソマリちゃん、少し見ないうちに大きくなったんじゃない？そうか？うんうん。お姉さんっぽくなった。また会えて嬉しいね。絆だな。
絆？いろいろと思うところがあるのだろう。
そういうことだ。
おお、
お父さんが作ってくれたんだ。
なかなかやるじゃないか。式の通りに作ったまでだ。
よかったね。約束が叶って。ねえ、僕たちもいただいていいかな？
構わない。それじゃあみんなで一緒に食うか。
Aw. I feel sad for Golem.
どうした？
Can't eat.
ソマリ、もう眠いから寝るぞ。また明日な。
Oh? Oh, the right, losing her first tooth.
はい。食べる？ソマリちゃん。いや、今は遠慮する。なんだか朝から元気がないね。そうか？普通だぞ。
Mhm.
あれだな。あれがありしぎの町か。
Bygone City.
他の町にしたいところだが我慢してくれ。
物資の調達もしなきゃいけない。
Aren't you guys gonna talk about why you guys are here? Hmm. This is certainly a very different vibe.
とした雰囲気の町だ。無法地帯で盗みやすりは当たり前。おまけに密漁や密造品の売買で闇市場がはびこっているって話だ。
優雅で平和主義の僕にはまるで合わない街だよ。
では静野たちは何のためにこの町に来たのだ。
吐き橋の町、カジルバで一番の名医がここに出張に来てるんだって。いろいろご教授いただこうと思ってね。吐き橋？
傷んだ歯を治すっていう、まあ歯専門の医者のことだな。
Talk about coincidences.
一般的に虫に食われた歯は抜くしかないと聞く。
I guess by the end of this episode, her tooth is just gonna fall out on its own.
ここだここ。失礼します。あれ、誰もいないのかな。
あったー、誰かは知らねえが足元には気ぃつけてくれよ。
Hmm?
声はすれど誰もいないようだが。
Beneath?
ここじゃここ。まったくお前さんらの目が見えなか。
Is that supposed to be a rat or a cat?
見ての通り水根族だ。
吐き橋は体の小さい水根族だけがなれる仕事なんだよね。
ああ、何
I guess it's a mini cat.
虫に食われた歯を治療するんだからな。
口の中に入って。
No, wait, that's a rat. Well, what am I talking about?
って言ってたな。
待ってました。
しょうがねえ、耳の穴かっぽじってよ そしたら口の中をよーく観察して虫に食われた歯を見つけたら傷んだ箇所を削りまくる。そしたら薬を塗って蓋をするわけだが、蓋には特殊な薬を混ぜて作った透明な樹脂製と歯型を取って作る銀製の2種類がある。穴が大きかったら丈夫な銀の蓋、小さかったら樹脂の蓋だ。あんまりひどけりゃ根元から引っこ抜くしかないけどな。早いとこわしらが治療してやれば大事なくすむんだが、手遅れ。
Of course, that's when you have cavities, right?
大事にしろよ。抜けたら二度と生えてこないからな。
ねえ、お腹すかない？
飯は宿を取ってからだ。
Hmm.
ソマリ、
Yeah, I just thought of something. I actually don't know if
虫をどうした？見せてみろ。
non-humans lose their teeth. I never actually thought about that.
なんだこのガキ。大丈夫か、ソマリ。このガキの保護者か。だったら慰謝料払ってもらわねえとな。一人頭千マネだ。悪いが持ち合わせがない。わかんねえやつだな。いいから有り金置いてけってんだよ。この町は強いやつだけが正義なんだぜ。なるほど、そういうことだ。
Ooh.
だったら
That's
強いものが正義なのだろう。
Whew.
ふざけやがって。郷に行っては郷に従えってな。こっちのチビなら。
ソマリちゃんは離れてて。
Oh, there's the two. Right as I predicted. Nice. Right to the dome.
覚えてやがれ。はいはい。ソマリ、どうした？怪我でもしたのか？
お父さん、歯が抜けちゃった。
なんだと？
どうしよう。一生生えてこないってさっき。それってさ、生え変わりってやつじゃない？
生え変わり。
それで親子揃っててんやわんやしてたのか。
子供の歯が生え変わるとは知識になかった。
心配すんな。歯並びもいいし傷んだ歯もない。少し経てば新しい歯が生えてくるだろ。おっとそうだ。
これは
吐き箸の中じゃ子供の抜けた歯は思い出として残すのが習わしでな。持っていくといい。
悪いが私は旅
Huh. I think
少ない方がいい。
そうか。なら抜けた歯はこっちで。
いや、やはりもらっていくことにしよう。
I remember when I.
思い出だ。
That's an interesting question. Do you guys still remember where you kept your baby teeth? I remember I kept mine for the longest time, and then one day I just realized that that was gross, so I threw it out.
全部埋まるの楽しみだな。
そうだな。しかしどうするよ。全然空いてる宿がねえだろ。探したぜ。さっき若い連中をぶちのめしたってのはあんたらだろ。たく次から次に。
I think they probably have a proposition. Thank you for taking care of matters.
見せてもらったぜ。どうせ宿が見つからず困ってたんだろ。泊まる場所なら俺が世話してやるから、その代わり一つ頼まれちゃくれねえか。どういうことだ？俺は宿屋を営んでてな、雪渡りの時期は難儀してるのよ。
Snow crossing.
お
What? Snowy.
降ってきた。
Nice.
この辺りは天候が急激に変わる土地でな。1週間ほど水桶をひっくり返したみてえな勢いで雪が降る。俺たちはそれを雪渡りって呼んでんのさ。アリシギはもとより治安が悪いが、雪渡りの時期は旅人が集まってさらに厄介事が増える。客同士の喧嘩に盗み、踏み倒し。そこでだ、腕の立つあんたらに用心棒を頼みたい。用心棒だ。もちろんただとは言わん。町外れに小屋を一つ持ってる。そこを宿として貸そう。
That was
宿よりずっと安心な上、宿代も取らん。悪い話じゃないだろ。
that does look like a nice little inn.
手入れもされていて作りもいい小屋じゃない。
用心棒なんて柄じゃねえんだがな。
約束は約束だ。明日から協力して宿主に貢献するぞ。
Oh wait, never mind. This is like a house, another house in the outskirts. I thought he was gonna ask them to guard the inn and stay in the inn as well.
どう？
ソマリは急に冷えるとくしゃみが止まらなくなる。子供の体に雪の寒さは応えるらしい。
さすがソマリちゃんのことよくわかってるね。
さて、朝飯の準備も完了。明日に備えなきゃならんし、俺もそろそろ休ませてもらうぜ。
おやすみ。ねえ、ずっと思ってたんだけど、ソマリちゃん、あの子はさ、人間だよね。
いつから気づいていた？
出会った時から違和感は感じていたよ。ソマリちゃんが怪我した時の血の匂いとかね。
そうか。
聞かせてくれる？ゴーレムの君がどうして人間の子の父親をやってるの？
私は望んでそうなったのではない。ただ、かつてのあの日から私は単調に日々森を守護する番人ではなく、子としての性質を得ていたのかもしれない。
Wow.
彼女を守る父として。
Like, what can you say to that ending, right? Man. Alright, see you guys after this. Alright, that was a nice little touching ending at the very end there. Quite poetic as well, and beyond just the sort of heartfelt feelings that stems from that scene, it also actually reminds me a lot of sort of echoing real world, right? Real life parents, real life fathers. The way that I've always heard it was, the instant that a father takes hold of their baby, brings the baby into their hands, and that's when their life completely changes. From then on, their life is going to be for their children, right? That's the way that I've always heard about it, both in media and from my peers as well. So it's, I guess, a sort of like nice touch to sort of imitate real life, and that is a powerful thing, right? So quite like that scene right there in the end. As for the actual episode itself, first of all, I certainly wasn't expecting to see these two again, and for the commenter that called out that Shizu would eventually guess that Somali was a human, I think it was Bastion C, right? Great call. Indeed, they do. I wasn't expecting them to actually show up again, so, hey, recurring characters, that's nice. It's not just a one and off. So yeah, he does learn about Somali's situation. Not really sure what the significance of that is. Although I guess maybe it'll be easier for him to help Golden prepare some medicine. In any case, so there's that. And what else? Oh, like I mentioned in the episode, it might be sort of like a dumb question, but I was actually really unsure of the question as to whether or not other animals would have a teeth replacement similar to humans. Right now, I do know that some animals anyways, can keep on regrowing their teeth. I wasn't exactly sure if they followed a similar process to us humans, where we have two sets, right? We have our baby teeth, or milk teeth as some like to call it, and then we have our more permanent adult teeth. And so the answer is actually that most mammals undergo something similar to humans as well. Now, I've never owned a pet, I've never owned a cat or dog, so apparently this is quite common, that they will lose their baby teeth and then regrow the adult ones. So hey, the more you know, right? So always stay curious, always stay curious. So I learned something today, and maybe some of you guys are be like, "Oh, Mav, you're such an idiot. How can you not know this?" But hey, you can't know everything, right? And I've never pretended to know everything. So yeah, that was a little trivia there. And beyond that, this episode was, like I said, at least the first half of it was basically sort of filler, right? It even pretty much says so in the title there. Of course, I feel like the sort of minor days or little days translation doesn't really hold well up in English. It has a different meaning, the meaning is basically just sort of like everyday life, if you will. I feel like that is the best translation I can have from that. It's more of a sort of how can I put it? It's more of a sort of feeling than any exact direct translation from the words. Basically filler, and yeah, that's basically it, right? I was actually kind of hoping that Gollum would go a little bit more into the map. We saw him looking at the map, looking at how they are going to travel to the ends of the world, but I guess that's something to be saved for later. One final closing thought actually is, I don't know if it's just because of the weather in this episode or not, but I am seeing a lot less sunshine right now, right? Of course, you could argue that, hey, it's raining and then it was snowing, so of course it's going to be like that. However, I do feel like, I don't know, this is something that, again, we should probably keep an eye on. Perhaps the further and further away they're traveling from, the central region and more into the outskirts, the edges, we will see less and less of that oversaturation of sunshine that we've seen all the way up to right now, right? And that might not only change the tone and feel of the entire anime and whatnot, but really also drive home the difference between, the central areas versus the outer areas, the outer boundaries, right? So yeah, and there we go. That's it for today. I will see you guys next week as well. Hopefully this time I will get it out on time. But no promises. Again, the first quarter is always sort of busy, especially, I've mentioned this before, but I do have an actual day job. And I'm really curious how old you guys would think I am. I always say that probably I'm much more older than you guys think. I know for a fact I'm older than a lot of other people doing this. But hey, maybe I'm not as youthful as I think I look. But anyways, that's kind of on the tangent. I'll see you guys next week. Until then, bye bye.